everyone, it's Sam here, and today I'm going to revisit the multi-panel, I think tiered card or something. I shared it probably 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I done a 5x7 version. So I made this 6x6 baby card during a Facebook Live, and I'm going to do 6x6 again in a minute, but it's going to be a new home card, but the layout and everything will be very similar. So I've done my matching envelope, got my wax seal on the back there. You did it. So I didn't really have any other wax seals, but I thought it was quite a good one for a new baby. And then inside, I haven't decorated the front because it's not going to be displayed like that, so I thought just leave it plain. And then, so if you remember the 5x7, this is the 6x6 version, but I've done a baby theme, and I've gone really bright with the colours, a little bit different. I've used my baby poem in the middle, and then a couple of the other sentiments, new stamps there that I had, and the papers as well. And then I've embossed all of the circles. So I'm going to use squares and rectangles with today's one, but you know, use circles. You don't need dies if you want to, you know, you might have something else that you can draw around, or just use, you know, squares and rectangles and stuff. It's easy then. And you can see how it all works. Very, very simple fold. And it displays really nicely, and yeah, just something a little bit different. All folds down and then yeah, fits back into your envelope. So like I said, I'm going to do the same 6x6 size, but I'm going to make a new home card, and we're going to use squares and rectangles. So these are my poems now. I think a lot of them have sold out. That's the new baby one that I used. I've also got the new home, which is the one I'm using today. I've got a sympathy one, and I've also got the birthday one as well. I think it's the birthday and sympathy that's possibly sold out. So apologies, but yeah, check out, as always, the links will be below. But this is the one I'm using today, the new home one. I wrote all these poems. You have the keys, so let the fun begin. Today's the day you're moving in. Fill all those rooms with laughter and tears, and make lots of memories to last throughout the years. And then you've got the stamped image there as well, but I'm just using the actual poem. And then I've used, I think, a mix. I've used like the key, I used the sold sign, that's from my Homes and Gardens set, and the Home Sweet Home. And in this one I've used the main house picture, the little key ring there. I think I used the champagne cork. Yeah, so again, I'll all be linked. That's the occasion set. And then the papers, I've used the florals, and I think I'm going to use the butterflies as well. I don't think I've cut the butterflies yet, but that's from my Showstoppers Editions paper pad. Just some really nice ones there. I just love the colour palette in those. But as always, you can use anything and decorate it however you want. Now, what I wanted to do with this one, and it was mentioned during the Facebook Live, was to create a roof shape in the middle. So on that one, we've got the circle. On the 5x7 one, I can't remember which one, what I did in the middle. It was just a big panel. So yeah, you can have a circle panel here, but I'm going to have a square one with then the roof effect. So I'm cutting mine from a piece of A4, and it comes in just slightly under 6x6. So you want a piece of 11.5 by 6. Along that long side, you're going to score at 2 7/8, 5 3/4, and 8 5/8. And then you want to rotate, and you're going to score at 2 just down to the first line. Flip and score at 2 again down to the first score line. It doesn't matter that those are reversed score lines, they're just going to be cut lines. Then to have the little attachment in the middle so it's swinging, you want a piece of 3x5. This may vary depending on the height of what you're adding inside. So if you want something, so if you've got something that's a bit smaller, then just reduce the height of this. Keep the width of 3 inches, but reduce the height. Along that 3-inch side, you're going to score at 1/2 inch, 1, 2, and 2.5. And you want to create a valley, mountain, valley fold. And it should all fold in behind itself, like so. We're going to stick that bit to the card, and then this will have the house shaped piece on the front. To create that house effect, again, this can vary, but you can see how I've got this piece, which is 5.5 by 5. And I've already cut the corners off there. So I just marked down 3.5 inches on each side. Find the middle point, which is 2.5. So just mark it 2.5 along here, and then just cut across. All right, nice and easy. And then these pieces here are 3/4 by 3 3/4. Again, you might, you know, change yours, but they're going to go across like so. So we've got that little house. I just stamped the little fence along the bottom, which I thought looked quite good. I think I'm going to stamp a couple of birds. I tend to add those always at the very end. I think they would look nice there as well. You could ink this all up if you want, but I've got a lot of colour around this, so I've just kept that quite plain. And then to layer that all on, I forgot actually, so that's your matte layer to stamp on. See, it sits perfectly there. This piece is 5 3/4 by 5 1/4, and then mark down each side at 2 inches. So just mark at 2 inches and 2 inches, and then find your middle, which is 2 5/8, and then just cut across. Okay, and then you'll have, yeah, I use that side, the perfect mat and layer. So I'll stick that on there. I'm not going to stick them on just yet. I'll stick them on once it's all in the card. So back to this piece here, we need to just cut away these two. So have it this way. You should have the two little 2-inch sections down in the bottom left and right. You want to remove all of this part and all of this part here. Fold and burnish first, so I always find it's a bit easier then to cut the score lines. Always remove the score lines because you want the nice pieces left, so just cut away, and then again just cut away down here, and then again on this side. Okay, so you should now have something like that. So this is going to fold out, and then these will fold like so. So there'll be, what's it, mountain, valley, mountain fold. I've then cut these pieces here, which are going to go along the bottom. So I've got these floral pieces. I'm going to have the same design because I just love the florals, but I might have some of the butterfly design on the back of these pieces. But you want 8 pieces. You may want to cover all of that, but once the house is on, and then I had that there, I don't know, I just felt I didn't want to have pattern paper behind it, but you can if you want. I'll give you the measurements for that because some people may decide to, because I'm probably going to cut that angle as well, the same as this, so you're not really going to see any of it. So I would cut 2 pieces of 2 5/8 by 5 3/4, but I'm going to do these. So you've got 8 pieces of 1 3/4 by 2 5/8, and I'm going to stick them all along here and then all along the back as well. You don't have to do the very backs, you could just have 6 pieces actually, but I'm going to cover all of it because I've cut them already. Okay, so they're all stuck down. Looks very pretty. And then I want to add this piece because I want to get this in first, and then I can see how everything's going to look kind of built up around it. I'm going to just run some glue down each of these panels. Okay, and then you want to keep it folded together, and where it joins, you want that to sit over the score line. And I'm going to have mine flush with the bottom of the card, so it's going to help support and, you know, it be able to stand up. And just keep that running right down there. So I haven't gone right to the top because this is an angled piece, and I'm going to be obviously trimming that. So like I said, it will vary for everyone, but just check that when you fold the card back, that piece sticks out, and that will allow whatever it is you've got to pop out. Okay, and if you go in a bit wonky with it, don't worry too much, because you can straighten out this piece when you stick it on. That's the bit you want to, you know, is more important. And then again, I'm going to run glue all down through the middle. And now place this on, and again, just line it up with the bottom of the card. And make sure the point, in my case, is running it nice and in line with the fold there in the middle of the card. Again, it's all still drying, but just carefully. That looks so nice. You've got this nice big, you know, panel popping out, and then you're going to have all of that detail like framing it behind. It looks really nice. Okay, so I'm going to stick these on next, because then I can trim this piece. So again, use a liquid glue, and then you've got the wiggle time. I'm just going to run the glue just along each side there, and just make sure, bring that down so it's in line at the top of the card there. And then that one, I'm going to have to bring them in a bit more actually. It's going to fit in the envelope. as long as they're even. That looks good. A little bit of glue under there. Just leave that to dry for a second. Okay, and now I'm just going to snip across. I'm just going to line my scissors up with the top of the roof there. There we go. So now the decoration. So again, this is all optional in terms of the sizes that you want to use. I'll give you the sizes that I've used, but work them around the images that you've got, because that's what I did. I stamped all these images and then I just cut them down, you know, and yeah, so it's going to vary for everyone. But I've got the white pieces here are 2.5 by 3, and then I've got 2 3/4 by 3 1/4. So I've got 2 of them. I've then got these 2, which are 2 by 2, and then 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. And then I've got these 2, which are 1.5 by 2.5, and then 1 3/4 by 2 3/4. And then these 2 here are, or I've got here 1 1/4 by 1 7/8, and then 1.5 by 2 1/8. I've also then got these bits here, because I think that's it. I'm going to have the champagne bottles coming off each side here with the cork there as well. Now you will want to cut some more of this size on each piece, so the smaller size, to cover the backs. You don't have to do it on all of them, but on the bottom one, because that actually kind of gets sandwiched between this piece and then the back. I mean, you can leave it like that if you want. I might do, I don't know, we'll see how I go with it. But because these fold in, you have all of this room to extend out. So you could come, you know, you could stick one here. Imagine this is something else. You could have another one like angled like that. As long as when you fold it in, it all folds into this piece. This can be a very long card, especially if it's a 6 by 6 when it folds down. It could be 18 inches long when it's open. So you can go big with this one. But I'm going to have it slightly, I can't remember how I had this laid out. I think I had it, so you want to make sure if you're doing it on an angle that the bottom point lines up with the bottom of the card there. And when you do one side, I'll show you how you can kind of mirror it up with the other side. But the idea is that each one connects. So this is going to connect. So that will look like it's floating at the top. I think I'm going to go for something like that. And then if you imagine, just roughly cut one of these out. But you imagine, probably have that one there with then, like I said, the cork. Let's just match that up on this side just to check that I'm happy. I'm going to work with this side first because I'm happy with the layout of this one. So that one will go down last. I want to just get this one stuck down. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue in the corner. You don't have to go on an angle. You could just keep it straight like so. You keep all of them straight. I think that's how I did the other one. So you have it more structured like that. You know, that looks good as well. But I'm trying to just show different ways of doing this. I'm just making sure that that is in line. So I'll go for that one, and then I just want to make sure you can see, you know, all the parts of each image. This is construction glue, so it's going to be nice and strong. So although it's a little bit, once this dries completely clear, it will be nice and strong. Okay, I'm just going to leave that a minute to dry some more. I'm going to just get these bits cut, and then I'll show you how to make sure you get that in the same position. Just started to position these. With the ones here, 'cause obviously the cork is on the bottle there, so if you just want that, you can. With this one, with the stamp, you just put it over the top. So then it looks like you've now popped the cork. So I'm just going to add a little bit of foam onto the back of this, because I wouldn't mind it just a little bit lifted. I do like my dimension. I think that'd be enough. So I have maybe there, and then that can pop off. Yeah, that looks cool. And then I might have this one a little bit lower, or do I want to have that symmetry? I think I've got to have the symmetry. If I'm doing everything else the same, then I guess I've got to keep this bit the same as well. Love it. Okay, and then to position, so this one's going to go on this side, so I'm just going to add a little glue there. And if I just measure that little part there, so it's looking like 1 3/4 gap is what I want. we're looking about there. And then if you go to close it, you can just check that it lines up with the bottom. I need to bring that down a little bit. You can, it just helps you then just have that all positioned correctly. Okay, and then the next one, just a little glue there. I'm just going to fold that one, and then fold that over. And again, I can just check the height, so I'm just going to pull that up a little bit higher. Home sweet home, like so. And again, just every time you stick it down, and you can just use the other side to just check that you're lining it all up. And that last one, I'm just looking at like the gaps here. It's a little bit lower than that side there. Again, fold that all in, and you want to make sure everything is underneath that highest point. Okay, then like I said, I think I want to just add, okay, happy with that. Then I'm gonna get the bird stamp, and I want to get the envelope sorted, and I'll show you it all displayed. Okay, so I've stamped the birds, which I think just fill in those little white spaces. I'm going to use the candy mix because it's got the perfect colours that I've used. I'm going to go for the teal colour, so I'll drop in 7 of those, and then I'm going to use the Happy Mail wax seal. For the stamps, I've just pulled these ones out of my stash. So I've got one from Gibraltar, which got a picture of a house. Then I've got this one, I'm not sure where that one's from, but it's got a picture of a chair, so I thought it was really good for a new home. And then I've just got one in the nice greeny colour there of the Queen. So I'm just waiting for the wax to melt. I'm going to stamp my usual faux franking, so that one like so. Okay, so the wax is all melted, and because I'm not obviously using this right now, I'm going to just pop some wax paper underneath there, and that way I can still add the wax without sealing the envelope. So I'm just going to pour this out so it's over half of the envelope, and then on the wax paper. Any air bubbles, you can get rid of them with your heat tool, so just have that at hand. And then I've got the Happy Mail seal. And then once it's dry, carefully peel that off. The wax paper just comes away. Oh, I think it's still, oh no, it's okay. And there you can see that lovely, there we go, wax seal. So now I'll show you this one when it's all displayed. So that's everything all stuck down, and that is how it will look displayed. So this pops out, and then you've got all of those lovely images behind. It's a really fun alternative new home card and just fun fold. And you can see there it displays really nicely. And again, the new baby one, so just different size circles, anything you want, any shape, and just build them all up. Just make sure that you don't go past the height of the card or the width of the 6 inches on each side. And yeah, you're good to go. And that was the envelope that I made there, again with the little wax seal. So thank you for watching today. All of the products that I've used I will have linked individually in the description box below, but you can also find them by heading to Craft Stash just here. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, and that way you won't miss out on any future videos. And I'll do a playlist of like these multi kind of panel cards, because I think I want to do a DL size one, because I think it would look really good with balloons, and we were talking about all different themes and stuff, so you'll probably see a DL one. So I'll have a separate playlist for this kind of style card, and yeah, might want to check that out next. See you all again soon. Bye.